Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Reshma Mukherjee. In my channel, you get ICC, ISC, in CBSE, English Literature and English Language topics. Today what we are going to do is, we are going to discuss the poem A Photograph. Okay, it is a part of your Hornbill book itself, class 11 Hornbill book. And you know that we are going to, we have already read it many a times. You will find many videos on it. So instead of reading the poem again, which you of course will do in school as well, possibly you have already done it. So it is better we discuss the questions, we discuss the summary, we discuss the figures of speech, which will be of more help to you, right? Because the poem, it is an easy poem, you have of course understood it. I'll just give you a basic summary. Like there are certain points that we have to remember, what happens over here, the setting and the characters. We see the photograph shows three girls standing on a beach, right? The middle girl, the tallest one, is the speaker's mother, okay, who was around 12 years old. Another information that we get over here is, on the either side of her, we have her two cousins, who are Betty and Dolly. The picture was clicked by their uncle on a beach. The moment that was captured was the three girls, they were holding their hands, smiling through their hair. Point number two, they are looking at their uncle who had taken them to the beach, okay. And the sea washes their feet, marking the transient nature of time. Very, very important. The transient nature of time. Okay. So we will discuss on this point when we go to the summary as well as the figures of speech. So remember this line, very important. Transience is one of the theme of this poem as well. Next, the reflections. What we like when the poem is written, we see that there is nostalgia, there is a sense of loss, there is a sense of memory. So here the reflections are, the speaker notices her mother's sweet face in the photograph. She sees it just like you see in this picture. The sea, which has changed less over the years, it does not change a lot, it changes very little. And it touched their feet, but the feet is transient, right? The man is transient, the people are transient. The memory of the beach holiday is precious to her mother. For the speaker, her mother's laughter is very precious, and the photograph is her favorite memory. So we see her mother's memory as well as the speaker's memory. Loss and silence is also important over here. Both the speaker and the mother have lost something dear. The mother lost that time when they were young and they used to go to the beach and enjoy with her cousins. And the speaker has lost her mother itself. The beach holiday was her mother's past. Her laughter is missed by the speaker as she is dead and gone, right? Almost 12 years over. So this is the summary of our poem. And now we will move into the themes of it. Themes of it, I will tell you around 4 to 5 themes. If basic theme is asked, you can write any. If particular themes are asked, even then you can write it, right? Like the memory part, the nostalgia part, the transience, the impermanence of certain things, loss and grief, all these can come as separate questions as well. It may not come as a single question, write the theme of the poem. That is a very simple one. CBSE generally does not tend to focus on that kind of a question, okay? It will ask you to write on particular themes. So there also you can write these answers. First one is memory and nostalgia. I have told you a very significant theme of this poem. The photograph serves as a powerful trigger for memories, okay? Like the photograph reminds the speaker of her mother, and it had reminded her of her past, okay, childhood days. The speaker reflects on the past, remembering her mother's laughter and the beach holiday. Okay, the mother remembers about the beach holiday. It was her memory and nostalgia, that she wanted to go back to that time. Just like we always wish now that kash hum fir se bachpan mein chale jate and we could enjoy those days, okay, the good old days, like that. Nostalgia is a central theme of this poem, emphasizing the significance of moments captured in time. Okay, with time we have all these memories living in our head, but we love them, we cherish them, but of course they are lost, so we have a sense of loss as well. This is kind of oxymoronic idea. Next point that we can talk about, theme, is the transience and impermanence. We have the sea one side, we have the human beings on the other side. So the sea watching the girl's feet symbolizes the fleeting nature of time. The photograph freezes a moment, but time consumes all these memories, all these moments, right? Time continues to pass, okay? So with time, the feet has grown and the mother is already dead. Possibly the cousins are also old, but the wave, the sea has not changed at all. The impermanence of youth and innocence is evident over here. Moving on to the third theme of this poem is loss and grief. The speaker's mother had passed away. The photograph becomes a poignant reminder to the speaker about her mother. Okay, the silence surrounding this loss is palpable. And the third point over here, loss and grief, is the contrast between the past and the present highlights the ache of missing someone. Like, imagine how relevant it is, okay, that the mother is sorry for her past, okay. There are three stages in the poem. One is the time when they went to the beach. Second, when the mother is, middle-aged, she has a child, and she is, cherishing that moment in her past when she went to the beach with her cousins. The third part is the time when the mother is dead and the speaker is looking at the photograph, remembering how her mother laughed at looking at the photograph, and also at that loss that he no longer can cherish the laughter of the mother. Okay, so this is all about loss and grief and memory. Moving on to the next part, which we are going to talk about the power of images over here. Okay, this can come as a question, if not as a theme. The power of images, we have the cardboard as a symbol itself, okay, that helps as a reminder of memory. It captures not only the physical scene but also the emotions. That is why we get the poem, right? We get this idea that something is lost, okay. We remember the past and we think, I wish I could go back to those good old days, okay. So it is an emotional connection as well, not just a physical connection. Images have the ability to evoke feelings and memories across time. That is why we call a photograph a frozen moment, right? That is why we can, when we see them, we can go back to that time and remember those days, okay? Next one, the reflection on time, the idea, the concept of time, the impermanence, the transience, okay? So even that line can come as a quote, transient feet, okay? Terribly transient feet. So the poem contemplates the passage of time. The sea remains relatively unchanged. See, this is just a repetition of that point itself. While people age and memories fade, the photograph becomes a bridge between these two times. Okay, three times. Three portions it has, as I told you, three parts. Okay, so all the three parts are connected to one another. It is serving as a bridge. So in summary, a photograph delves into the complexities of memory, of loss, and the enduring impact of images. Okay, so it invites readers to reflect on their own experiences and the significance of captured moments, what it can give you later in your life. So this is all about the theme. So we have discussed the summary and the theme. I believe by the time we have discussed the summary and theme, you have got an idea what is happening in the poem as well. I told you the points. So try and go back, read the poem once again. You will see it has very simple words, okay? Certain words are very easy. You will not have any difficulty in understanding the poem. Just remember to realize what is happening. Just feel it. Don't just read it. Feel the poem. It's an emotional poem. It talks about nostalgia. So read it. There are certain figures of speech. What I'm going to do is we are going to discuss all these figures of speech, and I will give you a few over here and we will discuss the rest of it in my Instagram shorts, okay, in the YouTube shorts as well as the Instagram reels, so that it takes very little moment, just a single minute or less than that. Just visit it. You get the idea of what are the figures of speech over here and you get a clear idea of it, right? So I will discuss a few, those that requires more attention. Like first example, we can talk about the transferred epithet. What is a transferred epithet? Transferred epithet means adjective. Adjective is used before a noun, right? We say good boy, good girl, bad girl, like that. So just like an adjective is placed before a particular noun, here also the adjective is placed before a noun, but it is transferred from its actual place to a different place, right? So that is a transferred epithet. So over here we have this washed their terribly transient feet. If I give you the definition of it, transferred epithet is a literary device where an adjective typically used to describe one thing suitable for one noun, it's transferred to another related noun, okay? So it's not sitting in its proper place. Simple as that. Example, washed their terribly transient feet. It is actually talking about the transience of time. Okay, it's not the feet, but it is sitting beside feet. So this is a transferred epithet. The adjective terribly transient is transferred from the feet to the experience of time passing, the passage of time. Okay, this is your transferred epithet. Moving on to the next one, alliteration. You all know it very well. Alliteration is a repetition of consonant sounds. My mother's hands stood still to smile. Terribly transient feet, silence, silences. All these are various types of alliteration. Okay. So something related to this alliteration, also remember it if you can find in the poem, of course do it. It is the sound words, okay, the assonance and consonants as well. Repetition of consonant sounds, repetition of vowel sounds, right? Next, we will move to the personification. What is a personification? Personification attributes human characteristics to non-human things or animals. Like, so for example, we can say silence, silences. We can say the cardboard shows me how it was. The cardboard is showing me. It is possible for me to show you this picture. It is not possible for a cardboard to show something. So that is a personification. Silence cannot silence something. The silence silences is also personification, not just alliteration, right? Next, enjambment. Enjambment is a continuation. चलता रहे कोई स्टेटमेंट एक लाइन में फिनिश ना होके दूसरे लाइन तक कंटिन्यू हो जाए, that becomes enjambment. When it continues to the next line to find completion. Okay, no punctuation should be there in the first line. All right. For example, all three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. At the uncle with the camera is written in the next line. This is enjambment. All right. Next, we will move to the more important one, oxymoron. What is oxymoron? Oxymoron is a combination of two contradictory words or ideas. So, just like we have labored ease over here, oxymoron means opposite words sitting side by side. Paradox means opposite ideas sitting side by side. If you have read Macbeth from ISC books, you will see that we have fair is foul, foul is fair, hover through the fog and fill the air. Fair is foul, foul is fair. Whatever is fair, that is foul. Okay, whatever is foul, that is fair. So, opposite idea sitting side by side is paradox. Opposite word sitting side by side is oxymoron. So, that is labored ease. Juxtaposition of labor, difficulty and ease without any difficulty. Words sitting side by side having a paradoxical impact is oxymoron, right? Moving on to the next, like that is all. So, we will keep it till here. I believe you got a basic idea of the poem. If you have any other doubts, I have discussed almost all the questions except few basic questions. I believe this will not bother you much. So, in case you have any doubts, don't forget to write it in the comment section, because generally I bring ICC, ISC topics only. This is the first venture into the CBSE content. So, if you think you want more such videos, of course, don't forget to like, share and subscribe and share it with your friends, so that I can, and also let me know which topic you want next, because the students whom I teach, I learn that, okay, this topic is taught to you. So, accordingly, I give you the content of it. So, if you want something more, some other topic to be discussed, to write to me. I have already uploaded poster writing, to check that as well in my Instagram. The basics, the rules, the regulations of writing a poster to get the full marks. And that is all. See you in my next class. Bye-bye.